let's talk about one of the most powerful forces in our lives, motivation. What is it really? And more importantly, how do we get more of it? Let's dive right in. I want you to think of yourself as this high-performance machine. Well, motivation, that's the fuel. It's the stuff that keeps your engine running, the very thing that propels you from where you are to where you want to be. Without it, even the most brilliant ideas just sit there, totally powerless. And that's the big question, isn't it? We have all felt that sputtering, grinding halt when our drive just seems to vanish into thin air. So what do you do when that essential fuel runs low? That's exactly what we're here to figure out. I just love this way of putting it. Motivation isn't just about getting things done or checking boxes on a to-do list. It's something much more elemental. It's that invisible push that turns stillness into action and transforms a simple idea into a real achievement. And, this idea has been around forever. The word itself comes from the Latin movere, and it literally just means to move. So, at its absolute core, motivation is simply the force that creates movement and progress in our lives, plain and simple. So, let's start with the fundamentals. What exactly is this fuel we call motivation? And why is it so absolutely critical for any kind of success? Okay, so at its heart, motivation is an internal state of being. It's this powerful desire that does three really important things. First, it energizes us, gives us the juice to actually act. Second, it gives us direction, kind of like a compass pointing us where we need to go. And third, it sustains our drive to actually get there. And this is why it matters so much, especially when you're working with other people. You can have the best strategy in the world, the most advanced tech, but if the people using it aren't motivated, none of it matters. The human element, that drive, it makes or breaks everything. So if motivation is like fuel, how can you tell how much is in the tank? How do you know if someone, or hey, even yourself, is running on full or just coasting on empty? Let's look at the signs. The signs are usually written all over our body language. A motivated person just radiates energy. They look sharp, their eyes are right, and their enthusiasm, it's literally contagious. But on the flip side, a demotivated person kind of carries the weight of that emptiness. You see it in their tired walk, a lack of expression, just a general disinterest in everything. The difference is night and day. Okay, so now we know how to spot low motivation. But what causes it in the first place? Let's take a look at the common engine killers, those specific forces that are actively draining that precious fuel right out of the tank. This is the question that every leader, every manager, honestly, every single one of us needs to be asking. Where are the leaks? What are the things that are actively working against our own drive to succeed? A lot of the time, motivation dies because of failed leadership. When there's no clear direction, people feel lost. When there's no recognition, they feel invisible. Being micromanaged or constantly doubted, that just crushes their confidence. And things like public humiliation or manipulation, well, those aren't just motivation killers. They're absolute trust destroyers. Then you've got the myths that lead us all astray. Thinking that money is the only answer is a huge mistake. And this belief that motivation is some kind of fixed state or that one little trick works for everybody, it's just not true. These wrong ideas can be just as damaging as bad leadership. So here's the crucial point. Motivation isn't a one-and-done thing. It's not a switch you just flip on and forget about. No, it's a resource that gets used up, and it needs to be replenished constantly. You gotta think of it like food for your brain. All right, enough about the problems. Let's switch gears and talk about solutions. How do we actually do that refueling? What are the practical, real-world strategies that great leaders use to keep that tank full? It really comes down to a 5-step process. You start with recognition and respect. Then you nurture it with clear communication. You sustain it by measuring progress and actually empowering people. And you give it a boost by celebrating those small victories along the way. Seriously, never, ever underestimate the power of just acknowledging someone's effort. A simple, genuine, well done can be the most powerful kind of motivational fuel there is. It costs absolutely nothing, but its impact, it can be life-changing. But it goes beyond just individual praise. Great leaders build this sense of a shared purpose. They create an environment where people don't just feel like they work for an organization, but that they are truly part of it. That sense of ownership, my mission, my pride, that is a total game changer.
And the foundation for all of this is a real, genuine human connection. It means talking to people, knowing what's going on with them, and showing them that you're in it together. When people feel seen and supported, their commitment just skyrockets.
Okay, so we've covered the standard fuel. Now let's talk about the high-octane stuff. This is the premium blend, the stuff that leads to sustained, peak performance. Let's get into the 7 C's. Get these 7 principles right, and you create an absolutely unstoppable motivational force. And here they are. Clarity, so you know exactly where you're going. Control, so you have a say in your own work. Courage, to take those necessary risks. Calmness, to handle the pressure. Confidence, to believe in what you can do. Contentment, to actually find joy in the journey. And finally, commitment, to see it all the way through. This is the checklist for a truly motivated life. And you know, it all comes back to this one fundamental truth. All of these strategies, all these principles, they all serve one ultimate purpose: to make people feel valued. Because when that happens, the entire dynamic shifts. People stop just showing up to work. They start showing up to excel. So, as we wrap this up, I'm going to leave you with this question to carry with you. Whether it's for yourself or for your team, what is one thing you can do right now to top up the tank? How will you refuel your engine today?